you take blows, but it's so much better than watching someone else like play the game. And the blows are actually what makes you learn the game. You're in jujitsu, and my kid's in jujitsu too. And he just got his like second degree white belt or something. So he's like super new compared to you in jujitsu.
All right. Welcome to the Amazing Marketing Show, where we talk about all things marketing. And today we are super excited to say that we have an amazing, incredible guest, Rachel Miller. She's with us. Rachel, how's it going?
Dmitri, thank you so much for having me. And Chris, I love you, brother.
Rachel is the kind of like a jack of all trades, and she's an expert in so many fields, especially in social media. She's just got pages and groups, and she's got affiliate promotions. She's been on the leaderboard of all your favorite gurus that promote offers. She's been on there. She built an AI software. So it's not somebody who just messes around with something. She actually walks the talk. She built a software, and we're going to dive into all of that. I'm excited to.
You totally left one of my accolades off on your list. I am one of Chris's adopted sisters. He's my adopted brother, and I'm his adopted sister. We are a chosen family. So,
bro, I ran into Rachel at I think it was. I met you at the very first Driven, I believe, but the Committed. It was the Committed one of their meetings. And Dmitri, I meet her there, and we find out that we both live in this small town in Texas, like so totally random. So we start hanging out, and dude, Dmitri, we've talked about this on the show before. I got into this world of marketing and this whole mastermind thing, and I felt like Rachel looked out for me like I was a little brother. Like just really took care of me in a lot of different ways. And from there, I was like, I told her that. And from there, it's been my sister. You two are some of my favorite people in the world. I am so damn grateful to be here right now. And this is fun.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible to know Rachel Miller. And it's true how much she takes care of everyone, her friends, her clients, her family. Like everyone is just taken care of by Rachel. And so we want to get into the deep process of how you actually get some of these things done, especially in the marketing and business world, but also in your personal world, maybe how some of the marketing things relate to the personal world. That's what we love to talk about on this podcast all the time.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Okay. Well, Chris, I'm going to throw it over to you to fire in the first question.
I want to start with a man in the arena. And this is a segment we do opening up the show. And for those who don't know, the man in the arena is a paraphrase of it is the man in the arena is the person who's out there doing stuff, trying to get the job done, trying to make it happen. And in doing that, you take a few blows, but it's a lot better than being on the sidelines. And so, Rachel, you have been in the arena for I don't know how long now. You've taken the blows. What is your man in the arena moment right now?
I actually really, really love that question because you take blows, but it's so much better than watching someone else like play the game. And the blows are actually what makes you learn the game. You're in jujitsu, and my kid's in jujitsu too. And he just got his like second degree white belt or something. So he's like super new compared to you in jujitsu. But he comes home with like a dislocated finger or like a cracked rib. He's taking the blows, and as he takes those blows, he learns the game, and he gets bigger and better and stronger, and he's progressing. And the blows, you have to love the blows, or you gotta just leave the game. So I have to remind myself when I got punched, like by life, by circumstances, by a marketing campaign that didn't go the way I wanted to, or frankly, I just had too much on my task plate and I dropped a big ball. Like that happens too. I have to be thankful and grateful and enjoy the blows because they're going to be part of that growing process that helps me get my black belt or whatever that is. And for me right now, that is a software company because this gal right here, she's written books, she's like grown memberships, she's grown courses. And I decided like, as I was helping people with the courses that I taught, basically, guys, backing up, I taught like 27,000 people, business owners, how to grow audiences on social media. And of those 27,000, 1,000 of them were able to get a single post to 1 million people. So like a 1 in 27, they got virals. Like that was really, I thought, really great odds. And then of the 27, the 1 in 27 people, we got 51 businesses to get over 1 million fans in their audience without any ads. And we've had,
wow.
Oh, off the top of my head, the number just left me, but we helped dozens of businesses get a single post to 10 million people. So basically they're able to reach 1 out of 30 people in the entire United States. And that's something without any ads. So we've been able to do that for multiple companies over and over again. And as I was watching the companies that I worked with, I saw, where were they getting punched in the same place over and over again? Like, what is that like Achilles heel? And for so many of them, it was tech. So they got an audience, and then what do they do with it? So they dropped the ball. And so now they got like a huge silver gift, right? A big pile of a suitcase of money, basically, and they have no way to pick it up. Like, and I'm like, you got the suitcase of money, just And so I saw this happen again and again and again. The best and the worst case of this was a gal. She's just absolutely beautiful. She's super, super sweet. One of the most generous and sweet, kind people, and just exudes warmth in everything she does. Stephanie built a group, a Facebook group, to 1.4 million people. When she posts online, she gets 14,000 comments every time she posts online. And she had nothing to sell to them but affiliate offers. She had nothing of her own, because she could never figure out the funnel. Because she wasn't bringing enough money in, she couldn't hire someone to build that funnel for her. And she had no product to give them, so she was stuck. She never could really, truly pick up that suitcase of gold. And she ended up selling that community that she built. And that was how she made gold, which is still good and beautiful. But she could have been earning that entire time she had that audience if she had the tech setup. And at the time, I didn't have all the tools, but she was one of those catalysts, which I was like, it's just like oh, honey, how can I help you, please? Like, I know I want to see you take these people and now actually make money from this, and not just be something that takes you away from your family. It actually adds to your family and your life and the impact that you have like in your living expenses. So anyways, okay, so backing up, I saw that the tech issue was what was holding people back. And so I was like, I'm going to make the solution. That's what the AI solution is. And that's where I put my head in the arena. I thought before that my hand was in the arena because I built an audience. And yeah, you have to have an audience in order to play the game. But I think the real arena came when I switched. Okay, this is a comfortable place to play. Maybe you did, I don't know, did you do karate before jiu-jitsu? I don't know. Maybe karate is an easy place to play, but karate is like, it's low. Now I'm going to go to the real man's arena. Try to pull in. Okay, guys, I know Chris, so I know all these, like, I know he values jiu-jitsu a lot. So those of you who play karate, we're not dissing karate, I promise. Just a little. But anyway, so I brought myself into the arena of now building the tool and making the tool affordable and something that anybody can do. And so now you can build a product, and my goal is 15 minutes. Product, sales page, emails, ads, all of it hooked up in 15 minutes. That's
and let's actually talk about that a little bit. So the business is called Pagewheel.
Yes, Pagewheel. And
tell us what it does exactly.
So every business needs leads. And actually, currently, 64% of businesses in the United States are looking for more leads, because they know that if they can get a conversation with a customer, then they'll be able to convert that customer to a buyer. So that means, being that there's 32 million businesses in the United States, that means 21 million businesses are actively looking for leads right now. Well, how do they get leads? Well, they can get leads with like demos or like get on a discovery call with me. But how do they actually get someone onto the call? Okay, yeah, you could open up your calendar and like schedule it with them and talk back and forth. You can exchange business cards or something. None of that is automated, and none of that lets you go to like from one person to 1,000 people without any extra work, right? And so what I did is we made a PDF. So a PDF builder, you tell us your niche, and our builder will build you a PDF that fits your niche and your topic. And then you can take that and say, give me your email address and I'll send you this free guide or this free checklist, this workbook, this journal, this yada, yada. And I'll get on a call with you and we can talk about how I can help you with whatever, yada, 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 with my company. So we're seeing actually our latest, we had 2 people sign up yesterday. One is a cybersecurity company. They're getting people in that are small businesses who have tech gaps that open them up to needing a cybersecurity company to put hedges around their company. So they needed a lead magnet for their cybersecurity company. And so we've got an insurance broker who wanted to make a lead magnet for her local community. We've got an auto warranty specialist, which I'm not exactly sure what that is exactly, but they signed up last week. So we've got 780 different businesses we're serving right now. Nice. We're helping them build their lead generation system and put it onto a sales page, write the emails, write the ads. So now they don't have to resort to, I'm going to go to the chambers of commerce and hope that somebody that wants an auto warranty whatever it is there. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps quite a bit. And going back to the arena part of this and the fact that you've jumped into the arena like a gladiator that you are, nobody does this. People talk about doing this, but they're always too scared, or they'll get to it later. Or
they listen to the other people who tell them they can't. You both know people, like you know actual humans who have told me, I don't think that's a great idea for you. And I was like, well, I'm glad you think that. I'm still going for it. It's like when you get a wedgie and you're like trying not to scratch it, but you desperately have to. Yeah, that's this. I'm not giving it up, guys. It's going to get fixed.
Well, I think that for something to be successful, this is probably a story of all the major companies. If you don't have a doubter, if you don't have people telling you, no, don't do this is going to fail, then probably the barrier to entry is too easy, and then like the competition or the market's already.
Bring on the competition. I'm fine.
Yeah, no, bring it on. I'm just saying, like you're going into a market like this is an industry where people are going to doubt, they're going to hate, but that's the only way to get through this arena.
I mean, I've never done anything with software. I've never built software before. I didn't really know too much coding. I mean, I knew a little bit of code, but not enough to really do this. And I'm a mom of 6 kids working at home with my 10 by 10 office. And so I understand the limitations they're saying. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure a mom working from home in her 10 by 10 office can totally build. And I didn't have any investment. And we now have brought in over $500,000 in revenue for it so far. So,
man.
Yeah. I mean, and we're still new.
Yeah, Chris. Rachel Miller just mentioned what she's doing, and she's got it in her 10 by 10 office with her family going on. And I'm sure that's getting some questions going in your brain.
Oh gosh, yeah. Like speaking of her family, Rachel's phenomenal at social media. She is leading in AI, and I'm not talking about some prompt engineering or some of the stuff that everybody's talking about, like real advancements in AI that you don't hear everybody talking about. We could have a whole episode on that. But something she just said that stood out to me, and it stood out to me about her, is her being a mom of 6 kids. And all these are not all biological. 3 of them are adopted, correct?
We have multiple kids who are adopted in our family. Yes.
Multiple kids who are adopted in her family. Plus, she takes in kids in the community. I don't know about you, Dmitri. There's always that house growing up where all the kids kind of flock to because for whatever reason, they felt safe there or whatever it is. Rachel is that house for a lot of kids. So she has 6, but she has all types of bonus kids. I'm gonna land.
Beautiful, yeah. We actually have a bonus kid coming back next week. Like he graduated, he moved on, he moved away, and he's coming home to visit. So he's not coming home. I'm not his mom. I'm not his family, but like we're his like extended family. So I'm really glad that he's going to come visit us next week.
What I'm trying to say is you have a massive heart, and I can go more into this, but my question is, you have a massive heart. You're the house where all the kids want to come to. How do you use these marketing principles that you've learned over the years to influence all these kids that you have influence over?
I want to almost say I think it flips the other way. And what I mean by that is when you put other people first in your life in everything that you do, like I believe that I'm called to love others, to serve, to give more than I receive in everything that I do. And if I live my life like that, when I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids wondering how I'm going to juggle things, if I overgive, if I'm the one who reaches out first, if I'm the one who makes someone else feel loved, they're going to remember that. And that is what my marketing is. That's like the kernel of my marketing. So it's not that my marketing, it affects my life as much as I took the principles of my life and my values and I applied them to marketing. And suddenly I'm going viral when other businesses aren't. Why? Because I'm letting that person talk about themselves. I'm talking about what issues are important to them, what values they want to talk about. So the same thing with my kids. One of my kids right now loves this computer game called Siege. I don't like it. Like, I don't get the point. But it's not about me. It's not about whether I love this strategy, whatever, dominate the building game. I don't need to love that. I need to love my kid. And by loving my kid, that means I'm going to ask him questions about it. I'm going to talk to him about it. I'm going to see what he's working on and what his next goal is in that game, because I'm putting him first in my life in that 2-minute conversation I have with him while we're washing dishes or something. 10 minutes, whatever it is. I'm going to put him first. So I'm going to ask him questions. If we do that in our marketing, just like we do that in real life interactions, if we apply that to marketing, we're going to blow up our companies. We're going to blow up our reach.
Quick follow-up question. So then you have, let's say, your kid who doesn't like Siege, and you focus on them to learn more about them and ask questions, and that's your way of showing interest in learning. Let's talk about your bonus kids who don't live in your house. How do you give yourself an opportunity to even get in front of them to ask these questions and show them that, oh, this is Rachel, I love her, I want to keep coming to this house? You have to get in front of them first, and you have to, make that interaction happen. So then how do you
how they find me? They just find us. Like, some of them were friends of our kids. There's a group home near our house. And so some of the kids were the group home kids, and somehow, I don't know how they came to our house to start swimming, but they started swimming. And then when they started swimming, sometimes they were hungry. And then they had a friend who was hungry and needed new shoes. My husband is a runner, so he goes through so many pairs of shoes. So now we have like a whole container of shoes for anybody who's size 10 and a half. And so next thing you know, teenage boys who are 10 and a half are just coming to get a pair of shoes. And little by little, they just kind of, then they wanted to know, like one kid, his mom works nights. And so during the day, she needs her house really, really quiet. And he's like the least quiet person in the entire world. And I understand why this mother was like, please, I have to sleep if I need to pay bills. And you can't be in this house because I can't sleep. Like, we got to work something out here, kid. So I don't know how it started. He just started showering here and eating all of his meals here. That way he didn't wake his mom up. And he wasn't even a friend of our kids. It just kind of, I don't remember how we got invited over. But next thing you know, he stayed with us while his mom had that work schedule for like 6, 7, 8 months. And now he comes around every now and then, but thankfully her schedule changed and she's able to like have a more normal schedule. So she gets to spend more time with her kid. But during that season when she couldn't handle him in the house, like the way life works, guys, it's you need a village. And so thankfully we got to be that kid's village. I don't know how we found him, but I do know that when they come over, there's like this fascinating period where they come over and they're like, so I hear you have shoes. Where's the shoes? Like they're trying to like ask, but not ask. And then they're like, oh, you have some chicken. Is it okay if I eat chicken? And then it gets somewhere from there. They go, I hate chicken tenders. I only want thighs, and we're out. So you're going to need to get more. And when you get more, I want buffalo sauce this time. So somewhere in there, they switch. And I love it when they switch to the like, girl, why do we have ranch? I hate ranch. Everybody hates ranch. You just keep buying ranch. We need buffalo sauce, Miss Miller. Like, I love it when they get to that spot where they're like, demanding, because that means they're truly comfortable with me. And just like I see that in the people in my life when they come into my home. They come in and they're like guests for a little bit, and then after a little while, they the first time they put their favorite shampoo on the family shopping list, and they got it. Or first they just write shampoo, right? They just write shampoo, and they don't tell me what kind, so they get whatever I showed up with. And then the next time they're like, well, so and so in your house uses this, and I'm going to take that one. So it's like once they get to that spot where they start asking those demands, it's just like with our audience. When we get a new customer into our business, we bring them in. They first come in. They're like, "Where? I don't know where the chicken is. I don't know where the shoes are. Should I ask for that? I don't know. Am I allowed to do this? What? Where do I fit in this company? Right? Where do I fit as a client of this person?" And sometimes they come in with demands right away, which is awesome. And sometimes those demands you have to kind of like put into like boxes and boundaries. But the silent person who comes in as a client, and then they come in and you don't know necessarily what they want. You have to build that relationship. You make some little wins with them. And then you get to that gold where they tell you, okay, actually, I now see the light. I have this light bulb come on. I could have buffalo wings tonight for supper. Like, I don't have to have something I don't want to eat for supper. Nothing's on the agenda for supper tonight. So me, a stranger, can ask for buffalo wings and I'll get buffalo wings. Like, that light bulb comes on with kids in our lives, but it also comes on with customers. So I just take that, like the way we live our life, and I just applied it to marketing, as in now, how can I listen to my readers, my audience, and say, what is that thing that you're wanting that you don't even know to articulate because you don't know you can ask for it yet? So you have to kind of like build opportunities into your customer journey for them to have those moments of, aha, this is what I want, and then a way for them to communicate it to you.
Bro, Dmitri, man, hop in because I can go down the rabbit hole with that. And go ahead.
Well, it seems like you're building this incredible connection with your customers and with your clients, and it's like completely different than how the industry teaches. You have your gurus, you have your courses, or at least let's say most courses. We're talking about affiliate marketers. It's all about, how do I just stuff my offer down someone's throat and I just have them I just want their money. That's all they want. And then once I get their money, I'm out of here. And like, your approach is the exact opposite of it. And I wanted to ask is, how did this come to be? How did you even discover marketing as the avenue and like this type of online business marketing that you wanted to do in your life? And how did you go in this path of giving?
Yeah. Okay. So I was a school teacher, and I loved being a school teacher. I taught 12th graders. I thought it was the world's best job and the whole thing. I had this whole career plan. I was going to teach for so many years. Then I was going to become assistant principal. And then from assistant principal, I was going to become a college professor for economics. And that was my ultimate dream, was to become a thought leader in economic theory. And I still love economics. And I got pregnant my third year of teaching. And while I was on maternity leave, I got pregnant again. And I'm teaching in the middle of nowhere, Texas. So they can't afford a nice teacher. So like, my teacher's salary, like, I couldn't put 2 kids in daycare with that salary and pay for gas. So I like literally could not go to work in that year. And I was like, oh, like, this isn't what, like, so basically I felt like I was fired. I wasn't fired. I like, life made different choices for me. It's my life path. And I bet some of your readers right now, or listeners, are probably listening thinking like, I just got fired, or I just had a life circumstance happen that totally changed my trajectory, and this sucks. And I just want you to know I was there, and I did not know that the trajectory I was on. I mean, guys, I went from a trajectory where I was making what I was, and later on I would make that amount in an hour. Like, what I made in a year, later on I made in a single hour. So just so you guys know, sometimes when the trajectory changes, it's life kind of saying, we got something even better for you. But anyways, going back there. So I lost my teaching job. I came home. My car was broken. I was sitting there. It's literally in my driveway because I couldn't afford a transmission and a repair on the transmission. And so I'm walking by saving up money for my repair, stuck at home. I can't go grocery shopping. I can't do anything. And I've got 2 infants. Like, this was just not what I wanted for my life. And it wasn't like postpartum depression. It was depression because I didn't get what I wanted. Does that make sense? Like it's a different type of depression. So anyways, so I'm there. My hubby came home and said, you should start a website. And I was like, okay. And so he actually like, we're going to build it right now. I'm like, okay. And so we misspelled the name of it. So if you go on to Facebook right now and you look up Quirky Mama, Quirky, well, guess how I spelled mama? Momma, because, you know, I misspell everything in my life. So it's still misspelled to this day. And we started that business, that website, and then we started a Facebook page for it in 1 year. Because I didn't focus on what to sell to them, I instead focused on how can I connect with them, because I was just this lonely mom at home. I grew that audience from, I mean, like nothing to over 1 million followers. We crossed 1 million in 1 year and 3 days. I was so bummed I couldn't make it less than 3 days. But yeah, we crossed over the 1 million in 1 year and 3 days of deciding to grow it. And about that time, we started making it into a business. We were getting 10 million page views a month at the highlight. And then I went on from that to build another website. And we grew that to 4 million page views a month and to, I think, 500,000 followers. And we have 600,000 on Pinterest and I think 180,000 on YouTube at the time. And then we went on from that and we built another audience. And I built that one up to 1 million page views and a couple 100,000 on Facebook. And then I asked people, nobody knew it was me. There was no face of Rachel on there. No one knew Rachel was behind the scenes on this. The only way they could find out it was me was on like the back of one of my book covers. I think I had my name and I had my face really small on the cover. Like the author cover's like this big and my face is in the lower corner and I've got all this like other stuff on the page because I was so like, I didn't want to put myself out there. I don't know why. I was so scared of it. But anyways, 200 people or 100 people, 200 people had found me. And it's like, oh, Rachel's the name behind all these brands. Like that's Rachel that did those. And so little by little, like this conversation, that conversation, I did a campaign with Chevy. And so their ad manager found it was me. So she started following, like, can I be your friend? And so next thing you know, I had 200 people and I put them into a friend list. And I was in a class actually led by Stu McLaren. And he said, I was in a class on how to build a membership. And I'm in that class and he's like, so what are you building? I'm like, well, I have this audience of 200,000. I'm going to create a meal plan for them because they're asking me for a meal plan. So I want to create a membership meal plan. He's like, audience of 200,000, you say? I'm like, yeah, it's my small audience. So I just need, and he's like, your small audience has 200,000. I'm like, yeah, you don't understand. I've got nothing I'm selling to them. It's like, so you have an audience of 200,000 and you're selling nothing to them? How long did it take you to build? Oh, 3 months to build this audience. At that point, I had 1 million person audience. I was able to like retarget, so it was really easy to build another audience. So it's like, yeah, it took me just a couple months to build it. He's like, wait, what? And everybody in the audience is like, how many people? How many's in your big one? Oh, wait, you have how many in that audience? And you get how many page views? They're like, can you please teach how you build an audience? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. And so I decided at that point I was going to teach people profitable blogging. So I asked the 200 people in my audience, and I asked them, October 31st, 2017, those 200 people. So he put the idea in my head like October 10th or something. And then I thought about it until October 27th, and I like organized my thoughts a little bit. On October 31st, I went to my audience of 200 people and I said, I'm going to launch a program. And if you want it, it's going to teach you profitable blogging, how to create a profitable website. If you want it, click below. And they clicked below. And then I saw that like everybody clicked below. And so I was, okay, you have to actually prove it to me. You can't just click anymore. Now you have to pay me. I don't remember the amount I gave them, like maybe $300 or something. I don't remember the amount, so don't quote me on that one. Pay me this much money, but it was on Halloween night. Now, when should a mom target her audience? Like my audience is moms. What's a day that pretty much every mom is busy from like, I don't know, 5 to 8?
Halloween, I think.
Yeah, Halloween. Okay, so 49 of the 200 people purchased that night. And I shut it down because I was like, I don't know. I've never done this before. What if I fail? I mean, like, I've never taught a thing in my life to adults. Like, I've taught high school seniors, but like, that's totally a different ballgame, okay? Also, they had to listen to me. They didn't have a choice. Whether I taught them well or I taught them bad, they sat there, they got it, they left. I got the next group of kids. Like, I didn't even think of anyways, my point is, I sat there, I got 49 people. I panicked. I shut the shopping cart off. People were like, where's this link? I heard about it. I'm like, you can't get it. I don't have it. Go away. And I taught those first 47 people. Of the first 47, 10 of them became people who had gotten virals while the class was running.
Wow.
It was insane. And also those 10 people also changed it for me. I thought, I'm talking an awful lot. I'm sorry, guys.
No, we love this story.
Okay. I thought that I was going to teach them profitable blogging. They didn't want to know profitable blogging. They want to know, how did I get traffic? And so my audience, listening to my audience, I had an idea, but like I had the idea of chicken for dinner, but I bought ranch dressing and none of the kids actually like ranch dressing anymore, right? So I have to listen to my audience and be like, okay, guys, you like ranch for the last 3 weeks. So I went to the store. What do you want now? Okay, you want this now. I will give you this. So my audience came to me and was like, look, I know the schedule says we're going to be learning about offers and value ladders and this. And we don't want to learn about that. We want to learn about traffic. I was like, oh, really? And then they all made a poll. How many of you want to learn about traffic? Yes. Okay, we'll learn about traffic now. What am I going to teach them? Okay, and I was like, well, you want me to teach you this or this? It was a little bit of like a choose your own adventure. My audience, literally, those 47 people, I think there were 49 once because I let 2 people in, yada, yada. So there are 49 people. They decided what that lesson was going to be. And that ended up becoming my flagship course that 27,000 people ended up taking. And then from there, I listened to my audience again. It was like, okay, we're getting you success. And actually, I've trained so many people that now teach those philosophies. I don't feel like I need to be teaching as much because my students are now teaching it, which is awesome and amazing because I gave them the information and now it's in their head, which means it's theirs to teach. Like, go forth and do it. And I've done it so many times, I'm kind of bored of teaching it. So I listen to their gaps. What's the next gap, the next big hole that you have? And that was, I've got the audience, or even I need the tech set up so I can build that audience quickly and without thinking about it. And that's what we did now. That was the Rachel story in the longest way possible. I did not tell that in any fast format.
It's incredible because you are the prototype, if I had to make one, of somebody who's in the arena, like going back to our first segment. It's like you're just constantly figuring something out and doing it and not sitting back and letting life happen to you. You're taking it, okay, life happened to me, now what am I going to do next? You keep going to the next thing.
I did cry whenever I lost the job, and I cried again actually when my daughter wasn't able, she ended up having a weird food allergy just when she was a baby, where she couldn't have like eggs or dairy or soy or milk or there were so many things she was like allergic to. And so we had to get her, I called it lobster juice because a lobster dinner was cheaper than each bottle. And so I was like, I remember calling my mom and saying, because my parents are also entrepreneurs, but being that they're entrepreneurs, they believe in independence. So they raised me to be an independent person. Like, you strap it up, buttercup. You got this, figure it out. Like, anyways, my point is I called them and I was like, there's no way I can figure this out. Your grandkid needs formula and there's no solution. And I remember in that moment, the horror of having to ask for help in that desperation was, everything's a step in the right direction. So sometimes you don't have to figure it out. Sometimes you just have to take the next step. So obviously the first step was feed my kid, get help however I could get it. The next step after that was get the first thing that makes any money whatsoever. And for me, my first thing making money whatsoever was actually writing manuals for appliances. I have no clue how I found that job. Like, literally, the sleep deprived Rachel barely remembers what I did to find that job. But somehow there was a Japanese company that paid me to rewrite manuals, and I would rewrite their English into like English people could read. And it was how to like I remember one of the manuals was for blinds that go up with like a button, so you could push a button and the blinds go up. Like that was the manual I wrote. You push the button and the blinds go up. Like how many ways can I say that? The button's in the middle. The button has this symbol on it. You push the anyways, my point is you start, it wasn't fun. No one's reading that manual. It felt demoralizing, but at the same time, it was very cheap pay. I was not getting paid US wages. The first step is right in front of you. And then you figure it out as you go, and you take the next step that's in front of you, and then you take the next step that's in front of you, and eventually you get out of that hole and you're able to make a bigger and bigger impact. And at first that impact might feel like a constriction, as in I went backwards. Where am I now? You just take the next step, and once you start moving, there's momentum.
Rachel, you are really good at seeing something in somebody and calling it out. You did it with Dmitri, and you've done it with Dmitri. You've done it with me. You could see strengths in people and call that out. Okay, so then one of your strengths, I believe, is your authenticity and your ability to influence people. Right? It's like you said earlier. You're genuinely interested, and then that's what reflects in your marketing. So now let's say there's somebody at home right now and they're looking to build their business, but they may not know their strength. They may not know exactly who they are, because you know how it is. If you're good at something, you just don't really think about it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you had that type of person in front of you, what questions would you ask them to help them discover their unique ability that they can build on?
Oh, I just want to give them a big old hug. The first thing I would say would be to ask somebody who loves you what you're good at. And it's a really awkward question to say, like, hey, Chris, you're my brother. What am I good at? No, you're good because you're constantly, Chris, telling people what, like you constantly reach out and say, Rachel, you're good at this. Like, so you're good at that. But somebody who, it's hard to reach out to someone that doesn't naturally have those words and are already flowing to you and say, hi, you're kind of introverted. You haven't told me what you love about me. Can you please tell me what I'm good at? Because right now I'm feeling like I can't see what that is. Ask somebody who knows you what you're good at. They're going to tell you. You could also go on Facebook and say, if you ever wanted to ask me for advice, what topic would you ask me for advice about?
That's good.
So you're not actually saying, ask me for advice, because that's weird. It'd be, what topic would you, now that starts the ball of, oh, I'd ask you for advice on this. I'd ask you for advice on that. And whenever you get those things, as long as you get a couple of people who say the same thing, that's something you're an expert at. So you now have that thing. I believe that every single one of us is already doing the thing we're called to do. Like, we are compulsively, the thing that we're called to do, we're already doing it. I am not called to study economics, right? I'm called to teach. And I didn't even realize that I'm called to teach and to find an easy button in people. Like, I find the easy way out for things. I was doing that when I was in college. Like, here's a hustle we can do, guys. I did that when I was a teacher, as in, oh, if we rearrange the school this way, we could da-da-da-da. If I made my bell ringers this way, I could get through this faster. So I'm always looking for that easy button. Well, now that I'm running a business, I'm already doing the same thing. I'm doing it a different way, maybe, but I'm doing the same thing I've always done. That's never. So I think you're already doing the thing you're called to. You might not be doing it at the impact level you should be, but you're already showing that skill, that gifting. You just haven't maybe unboxed it. Like, you're already holding the box. You just have to open it up. So opening it up means now you have to show up. And this is actually something Dmitri said, because I kind of, over the past year, guys, I have had a lot, okay, maybe it's about 18 months out. I've had a little bit of life stuff happening. I have a kid that got diagnosed with epilepsy. I've had, I changed my business model. And so I actually kind of disappeared on social media for a while. I kind of was like, I'm going to be quiet. And now I'm not showing up as much anymore. And so it's all on automated. So you guys don't, if you've looked at the Rachel Miller brand, you see it's still posting, but that's all automated and scheduled. It's not actually me. It's just on an automated spinner. And because it's automated, it's gone down in reach because it's not me as much showing up. And that's actually something Dmitri said. You've got this gift, Rachel. You've got this gift of communicating and showing easy buttons. And now you just have to step into the impact you're meant to do. And I'm like, that sounds familiar. Also, yes, I know. And yes, thank you, Dmitri. And I will. This was literally yesterday, guys. I love these guys. You're in the best place to get advice and help. These two humans are my favorite people. But yes, it's the same thing that Dmitri was saying Dmitri was saying yesterday. Step into that impact. And that does mean you have to show up.
Wow. Well, Rachel, everyone's listening like, okay, Rachel, you're the real deal. You're building these 100,000 person audiences, million person audience. And by the way, people will say numbers like a million, and it could mean nothing. It could mean fake followers. It could mean unengaged, irrelevant, wrong demographic, wrong location. But Rachel, you're building audiences that are exactly what you're looking for. Like the moms, they're actually moms who have a kid, and they're on Facebook. They're real people. They're in probably mostly North America.
You've seen my stats. Like you were in my stats yesterday, so you know like that they're real. They're real.
Oh yes. Yes. So you're. By the way, I didn't mention this in the introduction, but like some of the biggest names in this whole marketing industry are hiring Rachel to do their social media, and not just promote them, but in case of a PR disaster, they're like, Rachel, what do I do on the opposite end? And Rachel's got a solution
I've helped several brands. We helped a baby company when they accidentally found out one of their ingredients had cancer in it. We've helped a celebrity going through a divorce. We've helped lots of different people.
Yeah, because social media works both ways.
Yeah.
It can help you and it can hurt you, and you know the secrets to both of those ways. But okay, so that's you. But how does somebody who is just figuring out what they're good at, and okay, they're realizing, yes, I do need an audience, seems like it's valuable, but I'd be thinking like, okay, but where do I even start?
I think it starts the way every relationship and friendship and group starts, with a conversation with one person. So many businesses want to make it one to many without realizing it's one to one. You just get to scale that. So you talk to one person, and with the way Facebook is right now, not including LinkedIn, not including TikTok, not including Instagram, because when you add those, it gets even tinier. It used to be 6 degrees of separation, right? Where you knew someone who 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 knew the person. Now it's 2.6 degrees of separation. So you know someone who knows someone who is the someone you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So my point is, we already have the audience we need. We just don't realize it. If we go online to the people that we already know, that we already love, that we already have as our box, and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Do you know anybody that's interested in this? This is what I'm really obsessed with now. Da, 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 da. Those people already know and love you. They know 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 people that are your perfect person. See, it's 1-to-1. Those 2, 3, 4, 5 people, they all know 2, 3, 4, 5 people. They all know 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And now your audience can grow to millions. But it doesn't start with millions. It starts with a 1-to-1 relationship. And even when it's at 1 million, it's still a 1-to-1 relationship. And that's actually one of the reasons why I love DMs, especially not automating DMs, because they want to know there's a person there. So, I mean, I automate some of them, but I really like talking back and forth. And sometimes I'll click bankrupt and I'll hide all my messages because I got 78 messages come in that day. I'm like, dude, I'm not reading them. I missed a really cool invitation to a party, like the internet marketers. Like, I missed it. I was like, oh, dang it. But I hit delete all, and that was the end of that. So I went back and I was like, I missed that. But my point is, people want a 1-to-1 interaction, and they'd rather even miss an interaction than feel like they're talking to a computer. And so for me, I love automating some of it, but most of it, I like having a 1-to-1. And then just the more 1-to-1s I have, that person loves me, trusts me, they're going to tell 5 more people. Those people will love me, trust me, and tell 5 more people. And that's how I've been scaling. The same system for 12 years. I've been using the same exact system.
And it's the same system that's happening at your house right now. The kid comes in, they find out they love you, they trust you. Hey, go to this house, you get shoes and chicken. And it starts to spread. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, and it's 1-to-1 there too. It's not like it's okay, everyone. It's okay, you and you and you.
Yeah.
I will be we always have chicken on hand, and we always have like a couple like spaghetti and like 5 other ingredients that like no matter how, we almost always there have been times when I've had like 6 or 7, 8 different boys show up at lunchtime because whatever happened in the lunchroom, they came here, and we've never met them before. We're having chicken. It is crazy, but yeah, we have a fun house.
All right.
I do make them cook it themselves, and they have to clean up their dishes.
Good.
Chris, I want to tee you up for a question. So you prepare one for Rachel, and I want to tell everyone what we're going to do here for the rest of the episode is we're going to have Rachel actually audit some of the social media that we're doing for the Amazing Marketing Show, and she's going to tell us probably something really nice.
Oh, is that what you think?
I'm just saying you're gonna lay that layer down for us, so we're not too hurt. You don't have to, but knowing you, I feel like you might, even if there's nothing, you might make something nice up. But then please give us.
I'll look at it. Yeah, just so that your audience knows, I've never looked at it before. Or maybe I have, and I don't remember.
No, I don't think you have. So this is going to be completely fresh. It's going to be fast, and I think it's going to help everybody to see what they can do for themselves too. And then I also want to talk a little bit more in detail about Pagewheel because of how relevant it is to every single business out there. Literally every business can use it. So we're going to talk about those things. I'm going to pull it up on the screen, but while I do that, Chris, over to you.
I don't have a specific question, Rachel. I want to spend most of this time diving into the social media things. I think we're going to benefit from it, but I think the audience will most definitely benefit from it. But what I love about this conversation is that when I sit with you and Dmitri in real life, we tend to talk about everything and just a little bit of business. Like I've never sat with you and discussed all. So this is my first time hearing you talk in length at detail about your business strategies. And I just didn't know any of this. And this stuff is so good. So I don't care if one person listens to this episode. I got so much value out of what you just said. And the main thing that I'm taking away from this, and something you and I have talked about before, is what I love is that you know who you are and how you show up and what your strength is. And you use that to then impact your marketing and not the other way around. I just loved that. Just loved it.
I'm glad to.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
All right. So here we go. We have a TikTok, a YouTube, and a Instagram. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with pick one. Sorry. Yes, honey.
We'll do TikTok
right now?
then.
Oh my guys.
No, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Life. I swear I didn't play. Is this the thing where you can pause the podcast and come back to it? Because I suddenly have to drive a kid to work, and she didn't put it in the family calendar. So
no, this is actually perfect because the perfect segue for coming back. You guys are gonna have to listen to the next one after this.
Part 2.
Yeah, okay, so there's gonna be a second podcast, y'all. I'm sorry. I gotta go drive a kid to work. Bye, guys.
This is great. See you, Rachel.
Thank you. Bye.
I don't know if you want me to leave or not, but I'll just be back in a bit.
Oh gosh.
So I mean that's she's right. That's life, and that's going to happen in business. That's going to happen in family, and that's her product, by the way. And we're going to talk about this on part 2 with Pagewheel. This is exactly the type of people that it helps, because you can relate to what just happened to Rachel, where something just came up. Life. Okay. Well, her product, Pagewheel, that she built is perfect for those people who don't have 16 hours a day to fully build out every single lead magnet and landing page and email sequence. Oh my gosh, that's stopping most people from even starting. She's got this solution for you.
She said it. She described it to me as my wife is a technophobe. Right? She's brilliant. She's brilliant at what she does. She's a certified professional counselor. She's brilliant at that, but she's a technophobe. My wife can go out and help other certified professional counselors be even better. She could do that. What would crush her is the emails, the landing page, the funnels, the offers, all that would crush her. So if she went to Rachel and said, hey, I have this amazing skill. I don't know this tech stuff. She's Rachel's perfect model. And so if you want all the marketing in the world, but you don't know where to go with it and it's intimidating, look at Pagewheel. watch those YouTubes. It's a one-stop shop. You can reach out for help from her team if you need it. It is a phenomenal product.
It really is. And by the way, I'm going to fill you in on a little secret right now that you think this is going to cost you $300. It costs $27 a month.
Bro.
It's actually kind of crazy. And I think a lot of people think it might be too good to be true because you get so much for $27 a month. It's yes, okay, she built it's leveraging AI, and a lot of people are like, well, I don't know how to use it. Okay, yes, I've played with ChatGPT, maybe, whatever. This just takes your stuff and turns it into marketing gold, and you pay $27 a month and you just press a couple buttons.
And when Dmitri said marketing gold there, first of all, I forgot that it was that cheap. Like that. Anyways, I could go on about that. But when Dmitri said marketing gold, it's just that it's not like you're going to ChatGPT and saying, hey, write me an email, and it just spawns up some generic email. She's using her own proprietary AI, and she is a marketing expert, so that the stuff that this AI is giving you back is not just some trash. This is if Rachel's marketing team was writing this email for you, this is what it would sound like. So now that I'm thinking about it, Dmitri, you're getting a chance to work with Rachel and her marketing team for $27.99. It's kind of, if I was her business partner, we might have a bit of a conversation about that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the price is going to go up. So
it should.
If this makes sense to you, I think you should check it out. At the very least, check it out. Watch the videos, watch the demos and whatever. It just makes a lot of sense to do. So I actually like the way this episode ended because it does tease a part two in a huge way. And and just like you were saying, it's like I've gotten so much value of it. I'm sure we're gonna get so much value in terms of her audit of her social media, but everyone's gonna want to come back to see that.
This is perfect. This is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, and Rachel's one of our favorite people. Also, we're so happy that she was on with us, and we're looking forward to part two.
Peace.